Here at FitProVR, I focus on so many aspects of health. Physical, emotional, mental, you name it. And in the past, I've reviewed educational apps such as Mondly, but this one popped up on my radar and I'm super excited to share it with you. So let's go. Now, one thing I want to get right out of the way. I love language labs. As someone who is currently studying Mandarin Chinese, I'm always on the lookout for apps to help me learn in a new and exciting way. Currently, here's what I use. Yo-Yo Chinese because it helps me get a basis for understanding the sentence structure and the cultural norms. Mondly helps me with the tones and speaking, however I don't use the VR app anymore because the content is very limited and I ran through it very quickly. You can check out the link to my Mondly VR video right there. Drops. I love this app because it helps me bolster my vocabulary in a fun way with mini games and visual cues. I also watch Chinese TV and speak to native speakers at my school and let the 13-year-olds correct all of my terrible grammar. It's kind of fun and helpful. 你喜欢不喜欢我的彩虹? But along comes Language Labs, and when I opened it up, I didn't expect much from it. It seemed pretty basic. But after playing the first few lessons, I was hooked, and here's why. One of the struggles of learning a second language is the immersion, as I've said in the past. As much as I'd like to pack my bags and move to China, a number of things keep me from doing that. Family, job, money, no real reason for it. But the ability to put yourself in an immersive language environment is super necessary, and it forces your brain to make important connections and helps you retain the information in ways that are superior to just reading from a book and moving on. And this is exactly what Language Labs does, is it gives you tasks to do entirely in the language you want to learn, and you have to complete the tasks.
把杯子放在盘子上，
Put the cup on the plate. Seems simple, right? Well, it is and it isn't. As each lesson moves on, it introduces more objects with different things to do. And by the end of each lesson, you should have a firm grasp on what you just learned. In fact, the levels are replayable, and the more you play them, the better you have a grasp on it. I've played the same levels several times. The host talks to you at a normal native speaker speed, so you don't get the slowed version of it. I use an app called Lingo Deer that has a slow talking to you, and it kind of drives me nuts.
苹果是绿色的。
But this is the real deal. If you're not really interested in learning a language, I could see how this could get frustrating. But if you're really interested in not only learning another language, but also retaining the language, it's hard to pass up on this one. The app is ever growing, the Discord is super helpful and supportive, and the developer is like on hand 24/7 to answer any questions. But don't harass them like I do. Lastly, there are subtitles, but I highly recommend you keep them off. It's gonna be really tempting to turn them on, but listening and seeing is the best way to learn. I gotta hear you again.
把杯子放在盘子上，把勺子放进杯子里。
Oh, so put the
杯
cup
子
in the bowl.
碗
Put the bowl. No?
把杯子放在盘子上，把勺子放进杯子里。叉子、勺子，把筷子放进碗里。
There's a few updates on the horizon as well, such as a mini game where you climb and each hand you have to put on the right word. There's also going to be a shooting one where you shoot the correct thing, but this is yet to be released to the general public. I was given beta access, and while it is a work in progress, I can tell you it's very good. As with all reviews I do, I always go into things to work on. It's a little buggy because it is like a brand new game and they're working on it.
笔记本电脑，把时钟放在有笔记本电脑的桌子上。
But I do wish there was a progress section that would show me how well I'm doing. Currently, you get a percentage at the end of each lesson, but I don't know that any of the information is saved since I have to choose my language with each playthrough. However, I do believe this was updated. Something like this could benefit from a cell phone companion app as well, so I can continue to learn even when I'm not in VR. I feel like all of these tasks would still work in a cell phone game style. While this is an app for purchase on the App Lab store, it still feels much like a Horizon World experience. I think the graphics could be a bit better, but I also don't think it's a game that is in desperate need of it. I just imagine something like Other Sight with ultra realistic graphics. Oh my god, that would just kill everybody. Maybe some sort of scavenger hunt? That would definitely be awesome. There should also be some sort of speaking interface. Now, I'm no developer, and I believe that shows. And I can't go into how this would work, but with Mondly, it gives you the opportunity to speak. Now, if this could have all of the features it currently has and then add speaking, stick a fork in her, baby. Stick a 小子 in it, because it would be game over. In my opinion, this is the best language learning app on the Quest 2, and you can find Language Lab on the App Lab Store or SideQuest. I'm gonna drop a link to it down in the description. So guys, if you're interested in learning a language, check it out now. My name is Ari with FitPro VR, and don't forget to get your language learning session in today.